Alright, let's go, boys. Feel like I've won both. Get their votes and the prediction will end. So you can gamble up until the first game is over. So have a go at it, have a look at it, and vote in whenever you want to. So on heck here we got top left Zedd, top right Luke. Luke as in Sandstorm, or as for bottom left will be Roots. And the bottom right is Steve, so it's the left is right. And AVS along the top and bottom here. This should be a very close series, Sean, you're right, but I'm just more interested to see the form of Luke and Steve. We've seen Zedd and Root play before and they got absolutely hammered by J-Card and Legend. Simply because Zedd was playing RA2, Zedd was playing Yuri's Revenge, and kind of a...
Beacon detected.
Kind of a fuck, what's that what I'm looking for? Underestimate, yes. It's sort of underestimated J-Card Zedd. I remember frankly having a conversation with both Root and Zedd separately. Or I don't remember when it was, but I remember just the underestimating their J-Card from Zedd, saying that it will be an easy series. So let's see how it goes on here. Going 0 here by Zedd. Luke going to AFC after first War Factory. And out comes the Rhinos now. Steve as well going 0 and he's heading immediately up to top left. Leaving his base unguarded here. Let's see whether this plays out. No sentry guns out. Steve still committing to that push onto top left. Following up that drone. Zedd just not marking that drone away. He is making it up to full health to save himself. Steve on the other hand does not get droned. But he is getting hit. That miner does go down on top left.
Our ally is under attack.
And bottom right still getting hit with Steve. And now the miner getting droned. That miner is surely going down. And the miner does go down here. Luke on the aggressive onto Zedd once again. But Root still giving out pressure after Zedd drone down in bottom right. Sell the MCV. Out it comes. This is looking good for Root down at the bottom. Luke bringing in the Rocketeer to help it, and Steve survives with everything that he needs, but he is down a miner here. Hopefully there's a ping at the back of his base here. Luke walking with the sentry guns up in here. Zedd is dead, so Steve is gonna have to help his teammate here, pressuring up on Root. Looks like Luke definitely won his match there, going up against Zedd. The MCV gets sold here. Steve still making some moves onto Root, but Root is slowly taking out miners here onto Luke. One miner down for Luke here. Luke finally pulling back a couple rhinos to defend, but he took out Zedd out of the game, only left him with a barracks. Only one barracks remaining for Zedd now. He is pulling in his miners, trying to get some damage off whenever he can. Flag comes out here. Root going into defensive mode once again. And the Rocketeers will be able to take care of the infantry because he does not have any anti-air. Along the top there from Zedd. Steve there making a wild push at the very start, taking one miner out for Zedd. Zedd calls GG.
Player defeated.
And quits out immediately. Root still holding on here, but how long can he hold on for? It is a 2v1 situation now. Steve still putting under pressure. His flag is way out of position. So those Rocketeers can do a lot of damage. He's walking on the gold as well. Here comes Luke now. Steve and Luke need to be hitting together here. They can't be engaging single-handedly, but there you go. GG. Steve and Luke takes the first round. Luke is Sandstorm or S4. It's easier to call him Luke than Sandstorm, mainly because I have a speech impediment and I can't say the letter S properly, and secondly because it's less syllables. So predictions will be closing in a couple seconds here. Get your votes in. The tides have turned 57% now to Steve and Luke and 43% to Root and Zedd. I'll be closing the predictions in 5, 4, going once, going twice, and predictions are closed. So we got 10k on Root and Zedd and 6.9k, hey, nice, on Steve and Luke. 57 to 43%, so we'll see how that goes. So looking at team sir, Steve top left, Root top right, Luke, Root top right, sorry, Luke bottom right. So it is a corners game here. A very interesting corners game that we're gonna see here on Country Swing. So no what you call it? No tops is bottom. It is mostly gonna be corners there. See how this goes. The Connie rush now incoming from Steve. He is gonna do the right thing in garrisoning those buildings. Luke has garrisoned 2 of the buildings here. Oh sorry, Zedd. Luke. To bring his corners. War factory from Luke goes top left. So does that get scouted here? In comes the Connie rush. Alright, looks like it's gonna be a double along the top here. Zedd, can he defend? Sorry, Steve. Luke, can he defend? Root's gonna hit in the 2v1 here. All corners go down. And see if he gets sold by Luke here. And he's getting hit down the bottom right. A War Factory is all that he needs now. Doubling up along the top. Zedd arguably should be taking out the barracks and going immediately top right. Yeah, let's see if he gets sold by Root. He does have an FC down bottom left though. Now comes the Rocky Walls. It's a flag from Steve. Zedd now incoming to help his teammate here. Let's see whether the doubling paid off from Luke and Steve. In comes Zedd now. Steve forces to pull back. The engineer is there as well if some random ass capturing does come into play. No Rockies from Luke. Obviously he did build his barracks on bottom right and not top left, which is a bit questionable considering he put that AFC up there. Out comes the flag now. Luke down to broke. 1 miner, no money. It's a very questionable play here from Luke. If he wanted to double up on top left, he should have probably left a little bit there, but guess it didn't happen too much. There are some rockets from Luke, but it did get countered by that flag. Luke forces to sell onto his War Factory here. Zedd still holding on. Root as well still holding on. No power, but he does have whatever he needs. He's all left is the units on the field. Luke coming in for sparrow drops. Zedd seems to be winning his fight.
Our ally is under attack. Our ally is under attack.
One single rocketeer out from Luke, but it's nowhere to be seen. The GI is proving to be useful. 1 miner down for Steve, and that's his only miner down.
Our ally is under attack.
Root still can produce it, but he does not have any money. All he has is that paradraw remaining. The flag comes in and puts it down, but Steve's only War Factory getting hit by the Connies. He needs to save
ally
it.
is under attack.
Yes. Oh, but the Rhino takes it down anyway. Oh my god. In a close turn of events here, Zedd now the only one being able to produce any sort of units at all. The War Factory, if it was saved there, would have helped him a fuck ton, but to no avail. Luke now coming in to help with his paradraw, trying to take out that War Factory. Zedd 2 miners and 1 War Factory remaining. He still can produce, forces to sell their routes just to bait and give his teammate some time here. And Root still having that AFC down bottom left. He still has paradrops and he's bringing them down. Steve needs to be wary here of his flag control. Gets the elite. So Luke still has a paradrop. So does Root. And Steve only has the barracks left. And that flag elite, albeit elite, is low on health, so he doesn't want to waste it too much. What a game here we're seeing from Zedd and Root.
Player defeated.
The gamble on Luke there, I think Luke might have gambled that Zedd might be doubling up top as well. But Root and Zedd did well there. Root, amazing job in holding off that double. before he actually got around to it. So that is 1-all. So top left will be Luke as the allied player. Top right is Steve, so it will be a top versus bottom. Oh, what was that? Accidental? Oh dear, Steve. Alright, so yeah, top left Luke, top right Steve, bottom left will be Zedd, and bottom right will be Roots. And Root and Zedd going double sove now. Luke staying the allied player he is. He's one of the only very few true allied players that we have, along with someone like Frank as well. Luke, I believe Luke was one of the only people, or the only one, that went true allied in QM. Mainly being that he only went allied and nothing else on all maps. Even on Soviet dominated maps, he's still stuck with allied. That's why he is such a strong allied player here. Especially in the 2v2 sense as well. But we are looking at a top versus bottom here. Double sove along the bottom, so you know drones are coming out. But I don't think Zedd actually went a drone. The drone is actually from Roots. It's a very quick build here from Luke, top left. He has expanded to that second patch already. First miner is gonna get chronoed up there probably.
Our ally is under
4
attack.
minus now for Luke. Steve on 3, he did get droned. Root on 4 and Zedd on 4. So Steve is lacking a drone, a miner, obviously because of that second refinery. Needing to build that service depot. Here comes a flag now, bottom right. The expansion from Steve here very aggressive. He does have the ability of the chrono miners, so the first war factory can be built down the cliff instead of next to it. Obviously to get that miner mining as quickly as possible. 5 miners now top left for Luke. Top right Steve has 5 as well. He has caught up along with the bottom team. So double war now for both Root and Zedd. So the single war for both Luke and Steve. Luke does have that paratrop ready to be deployed defensively. And in comes the Harris as well. This is where I think the allies definitely have the advantage. I see Zedd just backing up simply because of the paradrop there. Attacking offensively with the paradrop is so crucial as allied, especially in Heck on that bottom left area of the map, where you want to get that that area locked down. So as a top left player, you don't get backdoored by that stupid top left position with no cliffs. So double war now for Luke.
Our ally is under attack.
See now Root going into Luke's base. The Root, wait, bottom right is Root to Steve here. See, Luke and Root sound too similar, man. Anyways, I think Root took that first engagement there, taking a couple rhinos off from Steve. He's now tracking back. Zedd making some ground onto Luke as well. Radar comes up for Steve here. Root and Steve, let's see how the tank control holds up. Root still holding still and firm. Deso comes out there. Steve definitely losing that fight. I'll come to Deso to help him. A miner coming up from the war factory here, and the left side as well. Engagement going in. Looks like they're pretty even there. Luke's using to back off, and Root now having a split going on to Steve's miners. Out comes a cheer, and Steve forces miners to go all the way around to save them. And the split there being really effective from Root. So both Root and Zedd being the aggressor in their fights. It looks like it works out for Root there, taking out 1 miner in the progress. 3 wars now out of Luke. He's constantly hitting bro, so he'll need Another refinery soon. There's no ping at all from Steve, showing that Root is incoming towards his side. The Rockets are going to be there to help and defend him. Out comes the sentry gun and Barrow is there. Meanwhile, Zedd pushing in and engaging, but losing that fight to the Grizzlies. And the Rocketeers can clean up Root's forces here that have split off onto the left side towards Luke. And now Steve and Luke can just recuperate here and rebuild. Zedd still producing here. He has 3 war factories on 7 miners. And Root's dominant over Steve here. Miners are getting hit. A war factory getting hit as well. Rocketeers coming over to help him, but the miners are caught as fodder in the fodder line. 1 miner now, 3 miners down. That fodder line actually proving to be really useful to take out the rest of Steve's miners, albeit he did lose quite a few. And again, as we've seen here, a couple of routes, Rhinos actually tracking over to the right hand side of the map. Steve now being the aggressor, going all the way towards bottom left. We just got sorted out. There are 5 war factories now for Roots. Surely that's not good on his eco, considering he doesn't have any miners on good ore positions. And it definitely is not his constantly hitting broke.
Detected.
In comes Steve and Luke now. Both players gathering on bottom right. Let's see how the tank control holds up. Zedd tracking in shortly behind. Let's see whether they can combine 2 mines into 1 here with the tank control. Roots Rhinos getting hit. Zedd trekking in and trickling in his Rhinos 1 by 1, but the fodder, actually the numbers of Rhinos are actually working out really well for Zedd. The drones are now being trickled in as well to help against the massive Rhino numbers that we're seeing here. The Steve fought to sell that MCV, obviously being broke. So it's been pretty back and forth here. Root and Zedd have been on the aggressive. Luke and Steve just going defensive. They can't do anything much. The one time they tried to go aggressive there, most of the time that they actually lost that tank fight. Zedd just having the superior number of Rhinos, man. We got 4 war factories and 5 for... It was 5 for Root. Now he's sold a couple and left with 2. But Zedd notices he can't throw this game here, so he is still just biting and proving his ground there. How comes the MCV sell by Roots?
Beacon detected.
And out comes the ping there. Steve almost getting caught out, but the drones are there. Yeah, look at that. Zedd keeping his tanks together, just taking the tail end of Luke. Some Grizzlies there, and then Zedd going over to top right. Luke coming over to help, but he is changing direction and going all the way to his bottom left now. Steve needs to hold, but Zedd realizing that immediately changes his direction, goes top left. Root now incoming as well, finishing up Steve. 1 war factory left for him with no MCV. Out comes the base trade now. Drones are being spammed out. Root taking out Steve and no war factories left. Zedd spreading out his tanks as well, splitting up. Luke trying to get what damage he can onto Zedd, but it is not looking good for him. His base is getting hit and the Rocketeers, 3 of them, not doing much there. He does take out Zedd though, but Root can definitely come back and defend him and defend himself. Trying to take this base trade here. There is nothing from... Oh, there is 1 pillbox top right.
Our ally is under attack.
So if Luke can take this base trade, he might be able to take this. But Root is there to defend. 2, 3 buildings left. Is there anything bottom right for Zedd? He does not. The pillbox does get hit and Luke goes down. Base trade not successful. Zedd sharp eyes there to notice the pillbox down in top right. And the 3rd game goes to Root and Zedd. Yawning? What? I'm not yawning. Shut up. Right, let's go. What's up, Marco? Marco, you wanna play a 2v2 after this? I wanna see you in a 2v2. I haven't seen you in the 2v2 for a while. If you can get 3 other guys in here. Ed might be showing up a little bit later. If Tim is here, we can get him as well. Top left, Kevin to Siberia. Steve, top left. Zedd, top right. Root, bottom left. And Luke, bottom right. So it is going to be a corners game here. Immediately when I'm thinking corners, top right, if Luke actually got Luke being the ally player, got top right, that would have been a lot better. He can't protect his AFC on that cliff, but fortunately he got bottom right, and he is the only allied player in this game. Dude, and Zedd sticking to double stove. What do you mean you always ask me to? Whenever you're in chat, I ask you to play a 2v2. that's what it happens. And what do you mean it's so late? Isn't it like 7, 8, like 9 PM for you? Are you a fucking boomer sleeping at like 10 PM? Jesus. Alright, Luke building an AFC down in top left. It does get pinged. Miner goes down there. Second drone goes down, sorry. And the AFC from Luke immediately going top right. Looks like Zedd is going 0 here, putting on pressure onto Luke. Save his teammates some time. In comes the double. Onto top right now is there. Root bringing his flag all the way from bottom left. Onto top right. Luke now without a war factory. His miners are getting hit. Steve trying to put on pressure onto top right here. His miner is getting hit. He goes for the rhinos. Forces out the one war factory there. Zedd getting hit on the double. And Root actually too busy microing onto top right. He didn't micro his rhinos. He had 3 of them, more than enough to take out 1 chrono miner down the bottom right. But he is only doing it now, but the Rockies are there to pull back. Damage has been done onto Zedd. No miners left, no war factory. So Zedd will have to sell a couple buildings here just to get a miner out for the war factory. The double can happen onto bottom left now. Luke does sell his MCV, but he does have a war factory and AFC top left, and no barracks either, so he doesn't have a barracks. There you go. Zedd sells his MCV and he does get a war factory, but Luke is quick to realize that and trying to take out his last war factory to stop his production. There you go. Zedd out of the game instead of infantry. Onus now on to Root to survive this 2v1 situation. Steve just holding off that push from Root.
Beacon detected. Player
there you go. Zedd finally defeated. Just quitting out there. Yeah, he did quit out. He didn't get defeated. So 2v1 now on to bottom left. Steve has to be careful here, not back out too far. Too far. 3 miners for Root, 1 war factory. Getting hit on the 2v1. The Rockies are there as well. Flag is available. So that was a really good play there by Luke and Steve. Root and Zedd just out of it, man. They were not in it this game. They clearly had a plan here, Steve and Luke. Shut up, Marco. But I think Root and Zedd were caught off guard. Didn't really play too well. They tried to defend. Root actually bring his flag from bottom left all the way to top right. But the double was too strong there onto Zedd. If Root probably microed his rhinos from bottom right a bit better to take out more of Luke's eco. Or get his power to slow him down, or barracks. It would have bought Zedd some time, but I think Luke fully committed to top right there to take him out. Down goes 1 miner. Does get drone here, but Steve should be able to mop up the remaining of Root. Not Luke, Root. Look at the onslaught here. GI is walking in. Root finally balls out. And it is 2-all. Back and forth here. Very back and forth. Both can play allied on Sov. But the thing is, Zedd is definitely more skewed towards Rich Revenge than he is on RA2, so that's a disadvantage that he has. But he is actually playing pretty decently, albeit that performance on Caverns wasn't that great. The defense on the double there. I like his teammate Root, which defended that double pretty well on the country swing. Zedd didn't do that great on the defensive, but might be the nerves, might be the RA2. You know, there's a lot of factors that goes on in a 2v2 situation. In a 2v1 situation, getting doubled early on that game. But we're looking at Jungle of Vietnam here. Top left is Luke, top right Roots, bottom left Steve, and bottom right is Zedd. So Zedd swapping to allies this time. So AVS on the left and right here, around the top and bottom. Yeah, Root and Zedd both can play allied and Soviet pretty well. So they are pretty versatile in that factor. I would say Root's allied is better than the Soviets. I could probably say the same for Zedd as well. And I believe Root can play both RA2 and Rich Revenge, but he might be skewed to Rich Revenge as well, similar to Zedd. So they are, both of them are actually very similar players in that sense.
Beacon detected.
Here comes a ping for that drone down in the middle right.
Beacon detected.
More pings. So left and right, we'll probably see a couple miners here.
Our ally is under attack.
So go 5 miners top left from Luke. 4 miners bottom left from Steve, Zedd. 4 miners as well, and Root is on 4. So Rockies from Luke immediately top left going down to Zedd bottom right. Fortunately, rally pointed, did lose quite a few Rockies there in that Rocky fight, but reinforcements coming in, that does help him. Root now sending flag all the way to bottom right. Steve now looking to push in as well. He's on 5 miners now. Same with his teammate who is on 6. There's that one more, and he's looking to build down all the way onto home base as well. On that first level. Paradrop from Zedd goes on top right, and Luke's defensive paradrop there coming in on the top level.
Beacon detected.
There you go, the ping from the flag that almost gets hit. One almost goes down. Steve actually giving up its ground here. 2 more fragments for him. So the fight along the middle here is still ongoing. Rocky fight once again in the middle. Luke now losing out that fight. Steve putting on pressure. What's up, Miri? You're late, yeah, once again. AFC radar out for Root and Lab out for Zedd. So he is pumping out those mirages. His ego is not looking too great though. He's still on 4 miners. He could use 1 or 2 extra miners here. He does have the lab, so he can pump out refineries instead of building them from the war factory. So if you look at the number of pings that Zedd is actually putting out, it just shows that how good his map awareness is. Out comes that lab, and there we are. We might see a Dreadnought here, or likely a Sea Scorpion to help deal with the Rockies in that middle area, just so that Luke doesn't have free reign with his Rockies. This is great commitment here. Luke now on lab tech as well. So the threat factor of that Dreadnought is there as well as the Sea Scorpions. So Luke will have to think twice. No shit, fuck off. Out comes the Dread!
Beacon detected.
Uh-oh. And Luke builds the Tanya to deal with it. So that will buy him some time. He's gonna try to use the Sea Scorpion to actually bait to let that Tanya live. The flag is obviously
Our ally
RNT
is
infantry.
under attack.
Down goes the Dread. So the Dread wasn't that effective. All it took out was one war factory, but the lab is not getting hit. Ah, and the lab goes down either way. Steve not getting caught in the sandwich. He has to be careful that that's what gets deployed down in bottom right. He's gonna take that fight here, trying to hold and buy some time for his teammate to get here. Luke desperately trying to get in, but met by the paradrap. Zedd does come out the lesser in that fight, but Luke is still chasing here. He needs to be wary of that cliffside and that deso. Both Luke and Steve now going on to bottom right, doubling up here. The roots. Zedd, sorry, his Mirages are doing a lot of work. And looks like the bought enough time here. Elite IV coming towards bottom right now. The eco situation from Luke is pretty good, but Elite IV is there. Gonna take out the lab immediately. Elite IV gonna be so annoying to deal with. And Steve with his remaining rhinos taking out bottom, the bottom ref, and the miner gets thrown away with an elite suddenly coming out now. Zedd building a war factory down in top right. And look at Luke's onslaught now incoming with the Rockies as well. No anti-air, the anti-air is out of position. No flag cannons as well from Roots, yeah, that's Roots.
Our ally is under attack.
Now comes the flag tracks. And Steve now will be able to push Zedd back with that Deso and the Elite Rocky.
Our ally is
Elite
under
Rhino,
attack.
sorry. Albeit it does go down. Zedd now outplayed. He does lose that fight, and he's gonna lose pretty soon after that MCV goes down.
Our ally is
No
under
money
attack.
for any pit bosses as well. Let's get a barracks up before it goes. The AFC is nowhere to be seen, however. Desto is coming out for root now, top right, pushing back that paradrop. And after a pretty decisive push back with that
Our
Dread in
ally
the
is
middle,
under attack.
the amount of Rocketeers that Luke has is so scary. But Luke trying to hold on here, waiting for Steve to put on pressure on top right. There is still a couple of goosies from Zedd top right. So he's not out of the game totally. IC gets popped out. I totally missed that IC being built. And that should be game, set, and match here
Our
for
ally
this
is
game.
under
Not
attack.
just set and match so far. Steve and Luke very great on that retreat there. And proving to be a force to be reckoned with. Score is 3-2 again. Very back and forth. Tell you what though, it's a pretty exciting game here. After that first beating that Luke and Steve got, they suddenly like got the second win here. All of a sudden they are playing like the beasts. As they were. They were actually one of the favorites to win this entire tourney. Especially by Ed. Ed was saying that Luke and Steve were actually one of the favorites, and their first performance from them wasn't that great, but now here they are. Top left we got Luke playing Allied. Top right it's Roots Allied as well. Bottom left is Steve, and bottom right is Zedd with Soviets. So again, you see how both Root and Zedd are very versatile players. They can go both Allied and Soviet. Meanwhile, Steve and Luke, dedicated Allied player, dedicated Soviet player. Fucking dog. Fuck that dog. My career mine is Steve. Wanted to find sponsors for Frank versus Luke. Yeah, Frank did disappear. Luke still not microing his miner. There you go. Yeah, Frank did disappear. He did. He will pop up in chat a couple times here and there, but I think he's just taking a hiatus. He often does this. A couple of weeks hiatus, and then he'll be back pretty soon. He's in prison. Yeah, the devil made one too many sins. Is this a double drone we're seeing here? I can't tell the colors from the drones. Okay, not quite. Not quite. Double drone. AFC early from Root there. 3 miners for the right side. Fourth now coming out. We got 4 minus top left, 3 bottom left. So left versus right, we are gonna see a couple minus being spammed out for a bit of a longer game. There you go, in comes a double. On to Root again. So what is Zedd gonna do here? He does not have any units on the board. He does have a War Factory top right though to defend. Out comes the Rhinos now. And Steve not building any flag gets pulled back by the Rockies. Oh dear Steve. See Rockies and a little bit of flag before pushing it. Lots of Rockies from Root though. Forces Luke to run away underneath the Rocketeers. So the double was imperative along top right, but Steve is not building any flag as a Soviet player. Gets both of them pushed back. He can make a push onto Zedd now, and Luke just going on a defensive. Steve picking his fights well. They're not really going in gung-ho. He's waiting for the perfect opportunity, along with Root as well, prodding and probing in each direction now, walking in with his paradrops. So bosses are there to deal with it. And now Steve can change his direction, goes all the way top right to buy his teammate some time. Root now pulling back just slightly. He's banking on Zedd to defend him here, and he's pulling back his Rockies now. Job, deal with it. So good job there from Steve, just seeing his teammate in danger and pulling back. He can now catch Root on the retreat. Luke now needs to get in the game as well. In comes Zedd. So good defense out of both teams here. Steve was very smart and wise to go top right to pull Root back, and Root now moving his MCV hopefully towards the second one. It looks like he's gonna move towards middle here. He is gonna move towards middle, and then comes an engagement down on bottom. Zedd wanting some blood now. Luke and Steve grouping up together. Let's see whether the tank control, whether they can put two minds into one. Root already moved towards middle. The tank numbers are looking good for Zedd and Root. Oh, that is close. Absolutely close there by Root, pulling back all the way too far. Zedd leaving Zedd to die there. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ben, do exclamation point time. I think that's a command.
Our ally is under attack.
Steve now can overpower Zedd here. Root pulling back way too far, leaving Zedd alone to defend against both of Steve and Luke. And Zedd can take out this middle expansion. Luke can take out his middle expansion while Steve just runs through Root's base, and he's gonna take out Zedd on the tank control there, giving the lead as well. Amazing display of tank control there from Steve. And Root making one mistake, costing him the entire game. Yikes, 4-2 now. 4-2. Let's go. Match point. So Root and Zedd. I remember someone particularly arguing to me that Root and Zedd was such an OP team together. Don't remember who it was. It looks like Luke and Steve might have bested them here. That second round wildcard after a DQ from Dean and Papa is actually proving to be really beneficial here for Luke and Steve. Having won their previous game, they are on match point now, 4-2. So let's see how Yin Yang goes here. Wait, who picked Yin Yang? Was it Zedd? Yeah, Yin Yang. Zedd picked Yin Yang. So Yin Yang obviously pretty heavy left versus right in a sense that both players are able to defend for each other and support one another hand in hand. So they don't have that sort of isolation from each other. I think that's probably one of their biggest downfall here, Root and Zedd. Even though it was a left versus right on Desert Island, maybe they didn't have that much luck in the support and defense based on the map purely. So this might be a gamble here. See how they can do with a map that they can definitely support one another pretty heavily. So we do have one allied here being Luke on the top right hand side. He will have double paradrops. And Root and Zedd going double stove. Ah, it looks like Snark and Neek are now playing each other in the intermediate tournament. At Doof's channel, the notification just popped up for me. Oop, back. I'll drop top right from Zedd. Taken up pretty easily. So got 5 minus now for bottom left being Zedd. Root has 5 as well.
Beacon detected.
Luke has 5, yeah, and bottom right should have 5 as well. 5th one incoming here. Obviously he had to repair his miner. So having the double paradrops from Luke will actually be pretty useful. Simply because of his playstyle. He likes to walk with his paradrops, similar to how Frank does it. He uses it very offensively whenever he's pushing an area or a certain area of the map. Let's say he's pushing this jam patch, he will deploy the paradrops here and then deploy them and then walk with the paradrop to slowly gain the map control. In addition, he could also use it defensively, like you see here, cutting off choke points. So they are gonna have to deal with the GIs, albeit already 2 GIs, but they're still pretty hefty in a lot of chip damage. And look at it, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're deploying the paradrops and then coming in, walking with those paradrops as fodder and just manage to hide behind them. Root is gonna have to get some Desos out if he wants to defend against these nuts. Top right, Rocketeers from Luke going towards bottom left as well. See that Root just wanted to go in and coming out here, but he does have a Deso now. He's forced to push back. Forced to push Luke back now. But the Rockies should be there to deal with their one flag. This is an area where a flag cannon would be absolutely useful. Zedd and Steve still going at it. Waiting to see who would take the first engagement. What are they attacking there? The Rockies. There you go. Finally gets the Rockies out of the way. Too many Rocketeers lost there. Real lag coming through as well. Not sure about that. Luke splitting up onto bottom left to get one miner out of the way. He will get a miner out of the way. I don't think the miners are the sentry guns. The miners are enough. One hit. Oh, I didn't get it. For paradrop bottom right as well from Zedd. Looks like Root has pushed his way all the way up to top right now. Big engagement there again. Luke with the micro to get that Deso out of the way so he can get his paradrop in, and the sentry gun will deal with that paradrop down the bottom right from Zedd. Good pusher and amazing defense by Luke. You know, showing that it's okay to sacrifice 1 or 2 units if you can make the thingy count. Make that sacrifice and be not be in vain. 3 rhino split now from Luke going towards the middle. Looks like none of them spot the split there. Roots finally spots it and it's a little bit late. Rocketeers now from Luke as well coming in. Paradrop top left as well, getting out one war factory. Here comes the split now, getting one miner out for Root. One miner does go down and the rest should be taken care of. Unfortunately, Root has better things to deal with. Luke now incoming. That makes allows Steve to take one more miner from Root. So now the tides have immediately turned here. Luke now pushing into middle. Steve wanting to get into middle as well. Got 3 war factories, 5 miners from Zedd, 6 with the NCB cell. Root has 2 war factories now on 5 miners, 6 miners as well. Again, Desso's getting hit by those Rocketeers now. Zedd pushing up into middle top here, giving Steve a huge opportunity to go in for the miners down the bottom left. Zedd looks to be banking on those drones to make a defensive play here. And looks like Steve has moved towards the middle as well. Good play there, good defensive play by Zedd to use the drones. That just pushes Steve back. Lab Tech now out for Luke as well. And again, Zedd desperately trying to make this move towards middle to double up onto Luke, but that gives the opportunity for Steve to go in, and the drones are met once again defensively. So this is a pretty big brain play here by Zedd, but Steve sees the opportunity. He's gonna use the cliff here. And then use the rest of his rhino to split along the left side. Zedd does not see that split. The drones are there, but Zedd is not using the drones. Both Root and Zedd are going to a stop right. The drones finally incoming now, not before 2 war factories go down. That is a huge flaw there from Zedd, not seeing those rhinos incoming from both players actually, not just from Zedd. From Root and Zedd not realizing that split was incoming towards the middle. Drones now incoming for Zedd, hoping to go towards the middle. One miner getting hit there by Root, and another miner gonna go down. Top right though, both players are from the left side in top right. Steve did get one miner out of the way there. And the drones are incoming, huge battle in the middle. The Mirages without the Deso is gonna be hard for Root to deal with. And the Paradrop, double Paradrop from the back, getting another war factory out of the way. I missed that. But Zedd pulling all of his rhinos back now. He did use the drone to defend, but Steve, good tank control to not run away there. And the split down in bottom left once again, getting another miner out of the way. Both Steve and Luke playing like beasts so far. And the Mirages popping the rhinos that are incoming here. Zedd now making its way towards middle. Zedd does have a lot of rhinos, and Steve now needs to move in to wherever Zedd goes. Again, another double Paradrop. Going defensive now. Steve moving towards middle. He will get that eco. Both players now in the yin yang part of yin yang. Zedd and Root have been, Zedd especially has been trying to double up here on the top right, but it just hasn't been working out. Now tons of drones coming in to deal with the Desos. And one of them gets into a miner with Steve. He's gonna have to pull that one back to the service depot. Paradrop around the back, Luke not seeing it. Loses his lab, and Steve on the lab as well. So if he gets that IC out, it'll be a ticking time bomb here for the left-sided team. There you go, Steve once again splitting. He knows that the target is having the miners on the bottom left. But it's not Lucas Z, it's Lucas Sandstorm. Miner turning here now, bottom left. Luke trying to defend against the Roots as well. And it looks like the last 2 miners from Zedd will go down. So there's one more around the back, but a little bit too late now. 2 miners go down. It looks like Luke is defending well here against Root. Sandstorm is Luke. Sandstorm is Luke. It's not Luke C2, they're totally different guys here. Just saying Luke is a lot easier for me. Rockies from Luke though, going from bottom left onto top right. Deso bomb because that's get destroyed. There's a lot of Desos there. Luke does not want to take that fight. He is still going defensively, yeah. That has to be right there. There is a bunch of Desos waiting. Steve not control shifting the Desos. They do go down one by one. And the Desos from Roots does prove to be doing well, but Steve winning his fight there against Zedd. Zedd has lost his fight. And Root calls GG immediately along with Zedd. Oh boy, what a game we have there. The wild card replacements in Steve and Luke. Taking out one of the favorites here, Root and Zedd. 5-2 is the final score. Again, one of the best matches we've seen here. Oh boy.